Bernard's just going to talk us through the walk on the Ordnance Survey map.
Morning, Alan.
Morning, Bernard.
And it's a lovely morning. A lovely morning. And this walk we haven't done for 10 years or more. It's totally flat. And we're parking here at the Grapes at St Michael's. And we're going to then walk along the wire for some distance, in fact, to Churchtown, where we've just come on the road. And then at Churchtown we start to move in the southerly direction across the fields, numerous stiles. I remember it's probably going to be very boggy today because of the rain. And then when we got to Allbrock Bridge here, we then start to come in this westerly direction, and eventually we get to St Michael's and the car.
Right, thank you for that, Bernard. Another fine sunny day. Today there's only 8 of us walking. Can't just quite get those 3 in there. John's hidden behind Graham and Bob. After a short walk along the main road from the car park, we're going to peel off the main road and go over this bridge. Looks quite a big structure for a footbridge. Apparently we're not going over this bridge. This is private for the river authorities. We've got to go further and cross the river further along. We're just at the right time of year for all the daffodils to be out in full blossom. Driving along the A6, we went for probably over a mile with daffodils like this. The first of the day's stiles, some have gone over the stiles and some have been smart enough to open the gate. We're just crossing a stile to get onto the river bank, the river wire. You can see the sign there. I presume WW stands for Wire Walk to Churchtown. I'm looking down the river in a sort of southwesterly direction there, but we're going to go in the opposite direction, which is approximately east. And there's an embankment, which I don't know how easy it is for you to see. I presume the water can get high on this side. Well, it's another fine day. You can see the sky's predominantly blue, looking inland. Very flat country round here. I'm led to believe the walk only has a slight incline throughout the day. Unfortunately, I'm not educated enough to know what the structure down on this little inlet to the river does, what its purpose is. There's steps down to it, but no idea. Not many sheep in the field, but what's obvious is that there's no lambs with these. Whether they're late lambing or what, I don't know. I think this might be an indication of what happens when the river's in full flood, lifting this flotsam up onto the embankment. Well, it's a glorious day, the sun's shining, the warmth on your back, and it's time for 11sies. We're just walking alongside the local treatment plant. Don't know how much of a population this covers. Obviously not very big. The river opposite the treatment plant does more or less a 90-degree change of direction. This is a kind of style we like, where there's no rail to stride over. And just there in the distance is a bridge that I think we're going to go over. We're just about to cross the river, and having walked along the river for the bulk of the way, and we come across this set of buildings. We look like an affluent person owning that, and I think we're walking across the countryside away from the river from now for a while. There's 3 beehives there. No sign of any bees yet, must be too cold. Next to the beehive, the cherry blossoms coming out in pink. Well, I don't think this is much use as a cattle grid. I think anything could walk across this. After walking through the field, it looks like we're going to do a little bit of tarmac for a while now. We should have gone over this little bridge, but there's a tree growing on the bridge, there's a little bit falling down by the side, and going through looks totally overgrown, so we're going to make a detour and pick up the route later. I think you could technically call this an avenue because it's got trees on both sides, but it's a dirt path and we're strolling for quite a way in this situation. It's near enough 12:25 and we spotted a tree that had been felled, that had been cut into nice logs that allows seating for about 5 of us. And the others are finding other seats. So the perfect blue sky's disappeared and it's got a grey over, but I can't take a picture at this stage because we're in the middle of a wooded area. We've just come out of the fields and we've come onto a road. I'm not sure which road it is, but it's quite fast when cars come along, but there's not been many cars. As I said earlier, you can see the sort of blue sky's gone and it's light cloud. The forecast is for rain about 2 o'clock, so with a bit of luck we might be back to the cars before the rain. We've got about a mile to go and we decided not to cut across over to the fields over there and walk down the path through the fields because we've experienced a lot of soggy underground, so we decided we'll stick on the road and get back to the car. So we've probably got about a mile and a bit to do. An occasional car comes whizzing past. A lady training 2 sheepdog. One looks to be a pup following its mother, I presume. If you ever want a dog for exercise, you want a border collie. You can spend all day and they still won't have enough exercise. Not quite sure what they use this for. It's a trailer that they built a miniature sort of dwelling on, whether it's just a summer house, kids play area, don't know. We're nearly back at the car now and we're just passing St Michael's Tennis Club. You see a rather strange building for a set of changing rooms, clubhouse or whatever. This is a church at St Michael's. It looks quite an elderly building. And you see the clock. It says 2:10 or thereabouts. Should be back to the car within 5 minutes. And that's it for another walk. We're now back at the car park. You see people busily taking the boots off, getting ready to go in the cars and go back and no doubt enjoy a little relaxation at home. All for now.